Now this is the one I was saying earlier, which I wasn't as keen on, because there's a section in the middle here where you basically get sprung around.
Yeah, if you don't, you can't. Again, it's like the not Corpse Con, Chaos Collision boss, Chaos boss. If you can get through it in one hit, but if you mess one thing up, then you're going for ages. Like it's future.
Please. Yeah.
I'll tell you what though, when there was a point where I came back. I came back. I was playing this and I wanted to actually spent a lot of my time wandering around the Robotnik.
Oh, right.
Actually having a look at the entire thing because I thought the model was brilliant.
If you ever get a chance to look at like the full map for this stage with the Robotnik bit in the section,
I've done that.
It's so beautiful. This is it. So you can see Robotnik's head at the top, which you may have just caught a glimpse of. I'll see if I can get another look at it.
It's a bit of a penny ass.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
I'd say just finish. It's easy enough.
Those speed sliders.
I've never been this far down the bottom, I'll be honest with you.
Basically, these send you round.
Yeah,
like that.
And you're meant to hit a.
You're meant to hit a spring. There we go.
Yeah, straight up.
That sends you back up.
That's not bad.
These ones you can actually fire yourself. There we go. We're out.
And down again.
Oh.
In there, then you go into the endless loop, I believe, isn't it?
Oh yeah. So there's a route to this. You get into the middle and then skip 2 of these, and then I think it's that one there. You want to be that sends you out.
That one, yeah.
There we go. And there's a spring there to just be annoying for no good reason. Cool.
That was a decent run.
I suppose this is the most iconic bit of the game, really.
The one they got completely butchered in Sonic 4 Episode 2. You mean?
They also reference. They basically do it again in Generations.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. So
I thought the Generations one was really well done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's faithful to the original. But yeah, this is the race against Metal Sonic. So.
And this is the one that you die on a lot as a child because you're like, because you try to jump on ledges that are there to jump back, but what you don't realise is that he'll slow down.
Yeah.
And that he'll go even higher up depending on what level you are.
Generally with this, you're pretty safe until the last stretch.
Yeah, where everything just goes mentally and speeds up. It's really good because there's a bit of rubber banding in places, and it doesn't do it to a silly extreme.
Yeah, but it actually feels like he's catching up with you and that you're making mistakes. It doesn't feel unfair. Whereas it could well feel like that.
But he will just abuse that mechanic if you're too far
So
ahead.
when he's in that sort of boosty, glowing mode, he can damage you essentially.
But he damages you with the shield and with anything. But
because he sparks as well, doesn't he? Yeah.
If you're right next to him, he'll do the spark shield. If you're too far ahead, he'll do the powered up charge.
Yeah. Oh, there it
like
is.
that.
But yeah, up in this point, you really don't need to worry too far about being behind him. It's mainly the last straight that you want to be. And I think we're getting there now.
Yep.
And we're well ahead of him, so we're fine. He won't catch up with us here. And there we go. But his face falls off.
Yeah. it's such a well built boss. Again, it's playing on a new mechanic. Oh, and this part's hilarious. If you're like no cuties, please, no, none of the girly cuties. But yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
The way they bring it back in 4.2, where it actually shows you the level, is really good. But I'm not the biggest fan of. It's really sad to say, but I preferred episode 1 to episode 2.
It's strange actually because I thought episode 1 was a little bit more memorable than 2. Right, regardless of the fact that 2 plays nicer. The stages just aren't as interesting, I wasn't as fussed. It's a bit strange, but I've got to say, episode 4, Sonic 4 episode 2, I really love the oil desert boss. That's
absolutely
one of my favourite Sonic bosses of all time.
Again, it's mechanics again.
It's just really interesting. It's like the way it progresses, it keeps changing, and it's like all the mechanics are really interesting, and they don't feel unfair, and it's just a really well made boss. Sonic when it's good. You know?
Yes, but the biggest thing that annoyed me about episode 2 was the whole you have to use the double team mechanics to get
Yeah, it was a shame that you were forced into like 2
And again, it's I think it's as we mentioned in Streets of Rage.
Yeah.
That it's a new mechanic. How can we plaster it everywhere in our game?
Yeah.
And that's its biggest letdown. And I mean, as much as people want to shit on all over like the physics and that in episode 1, it didn't have the problem of a stupid mechanic holding it down.
Well, it's like if you're going to play it single player, then it should be single player. Whereas in episode 2, it feels like the single player game has been like there's a 2-player element tacked onto it for no good reason, and even like the special stages, you have to slingshot Tails backwards and forwards to to complete some of them, which is really difficult to do. And it's actually a lot easier to play co-op in that regard. Yeah,
because
they basically forced co-op on you.
They forced co-op for the special stages, and that's just ridiculous. This act has got a few bits and pieces that I like, especially the end. Yeah,
I mean, like we save one of the most interesting gimmicks to like the very last last stage. It's pretty mad.
The shrink laser thing.
Yeah, you'll see it soon. And I love the old Shrink Sonic sprite.
I think it's amazing. It's
there's actually like more frames to that sprite in the remastered version because if I remember correctly, in this in the original version of Sonic CD, it doesn't have like a spring animation.
No, it's just small. It's just
a small stand-in animation. Whereas they added one for remastered. There's a few like extra frames.
Oh, that's cool.
Just to like complete the sprite a little bit, and that's quite nice. Again, a nice attention to detail.
Missed out the biggest attention to detail in that game, though, didn't they?
What's that?
You know what it is.
Go on.
The lack of the vocal EU tracks.
Oh yeah. No, it's a shame.
There's
obviously some
there's a licensing
problem, but at the same time, up until remastered, they were releasing like the vocal themes on CDs.
This is it.
Yeah,
the CD came out literally like a couple of weeks beforehand.
Yeah, and the new version of the Sonic CD soundtrack actually has the full vocal song on it. So it's a bit strange that the game doesn't have it.
Apparently, there are, from what I heard in a conversation that I had with people about it, there are different copyright laws between a game licensing soundtrack and like a CD.
Okay.
And actually using it in a game.
Oh right, okay.
So I mean, that's
there must be some
where it lies,
difference because and here we are.
Look at that big head.
It's the eyes. They take up most of his body. But yeah, here we go. Like, so when I spring, I'm just basically like that's the standing animation.
It's the standing animation.
Yeah,
it's like the first jump you do in the lava in Marble Garden in Sonic 1.
Yeah.
So it's like the sprite is like missing for that part. I don't understand how that works per se.
What do you mean?
Well, in Sonic 1, if you Marble Zone Act 1, and you get to the first set of lava in Act 1,
right, and
you jump onto the block. If you do it in a specific way, it misses the complete curl up as he jumps animation. He just jumps.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, sometimes he doesn't curl into a ball when you jump. Yeah. I think it's just like a platform bug, basically.
It's odd because it's literally just that part.
I have seen it on a few things. I think it happens a lot when you're sort of really close to the edge of a platform. But yes, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. Again, strange little quirks. It's probably just the way
it's just the
platform is programmed. Yeah. It misses a little something. Right. I think you can get out on this third one. Yeah, there we go.
That music,
cool.
That vocal soundtrack.
Yeah. Oh, the weird sort of rapping going on in the background. It's a shame that we're not going to hear it, but like, there's an even more stranger rap on the Bad Future theme.
Yes.
Like Sonic, Dead or Alive, You Are Mine, or something like that.
Sonic, Dead or Alive.
But it sounds like a weird sort of I don't know, speak and spell voice.
Both versions of the Future music are amazing.
I just love that.
I don't think you need to go up for life, do you?
Not particularly. I think we've maxed out. So.
I suppose, again, coming up when you're a child is another really hard bit.
This is actually like, I think this is the only pitfall in the entire game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really strange that it's. I mean, understandably, last stage is going to be harder, but yeah. I made that look so easy.
You made that look ridiculously easy.
Yeah. I've had so much trouble with that section in the past.
That is akin to watching someone speedrun the last boss in Sonic 2.
Yeah.
That's what that is. I mean, you try and do it and you're like, I keep getting hit.
Yeah, yeah. I love these robots. They're really cool.
Yeah. I like it because this is like a very small part of this last stage, and yet it makes it into the final cutscene cartoons.
Yeah, yeah.
And those just are bliss. I love
completely.
them.
Well, we're going to see them soon, so... Right, come on, let's have it. Final boss.
Again.
See, I love this boss, right? It's not particularly hard, but I love the look of it, and I love the way it changes.
Yeah.
The main...
The invincibility frames.
The thing... In the remastered version, the fans move really smoothly, and it doesn't look as nice because I like the sort of like...
The jaggedness.
Yeah, yeah, it looks mechanical. Like that.
Isn't there a way in remastered that you can actually do this boss without being hit as well?
I think they have, like changed it a little bit so that you can basically the first form of this will always damage you.
Yeah.
You can do the second one without getting damaged like I just did then, but yeah. I think basically you can. Oh, I thought I was standing in the middle.
Yeah, I always jump from the outside in on that one.
Oh, okay. Basically, like if you're in the middle between the fans, like it doesn't touch you. I love the way that one digs in.
Yeah.
Nice and chunky. And then he pogos, and that's the end. So yeah, nothing too difficult really in the grand scheme of things.
It's not.
It's a nice boss.
It's no Doomsday.
No.
Again, it's a mechanical boss. It's not the same sort of thing.
Yeah. So there you go. Good ending now. Let's watch.
Do you know the best thing I like about these cartoons?
What's that?
The OVA uses tries to emulate the same sort of animation.
Yeah. It's not nearly as detailed, but at the same time, like the character style is almost identical.
Well, like the opening cutscene, they emulate that and put in an extra couple of frames, don't they?
Yeah. You'll notice the Mega CD version is obviously a very low resolution, and obviously there's not as many frames of animation.
But it's still for the time.
Oh, completely. I mean, like. Up until the the Mega Collection re-release of the opening cutscene and the ending cutscenes, I was like enamoured with these as a kid. And it's one of the things I really like about Mega CD is just, regardless of the fact that they kind of overused the FMV for a lot of Mega CD games, I think it's just one of those things. It's like really flashy, and I still have like a lot of love for it. So.
But coming up, I think is one of the best vocal tracks in a Sonic game.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's one of the most iconic.
At this point, I think it's a good chance for me and Lewis to say goodbye, and you guys to listen to this. So until the next time, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll see you next time for another Let's Play. Bye bye.